This is a Moobox. Alright, so the Moobox. This looks suspiciously like Netgear's Arlo security camera. However, this is a bit of a cheaper option for those who don't want to have to pay those high prices that Netgear are asking for. I suppose that it's still about £120, but it's one of those all-in-the-box security systems for you. And it looks quite interesting, to be honest. So there's the web address if you want to go and see it. It has some Asian dialects all over it, but you can purchase this off amazon.co.uk, and there's a link down below for you to see. It's called the Moobox without a space in it, and it's a wire-free HD camera. There's some information on the side here. It's 100% wire-free, which is really quite interesting. HD quality, two-way audio, motion detection, night vision, and wide angle. It'll be interesting to see how long that battery lasts if this is 100% wire-free. So the specifications inside are, it's a 720p configurable up to 1280 by 720 for video res. It records in H.264. The imaging is CMOS. Audio is, there's a speaker and a microphone on board because it's two-direction. Motion detection uses PIR and push notifications to let you know that something has happened. Night vision is, there's an 850 nit LEDs in there, illuminating up to 16 feet with an IR cutoff filter. 3200 milliamp hour rechargeable battery inside. Without a big screen on it, that might last a decent amount of time. 120 degree field of view. Operating temperature is 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 122, which is 0 to 50 in UK terms. And there's some dimensions there. It weighs 6.5 ounces, which is 185 grams, so it's not terribly heavy. It's got an Ethernet and USB on it. Power indicators and storage inside. Can support up to 128 gigs. There is a micro SD card inside, I'd like to think. It says there. And connects up to 4 cameras. Uses wireless 2.4. Temperatures, dimensions. Oh, for the hub. Alright, okay. Fair enough. So, in here we have that. So inside the box, nothing on that end, but it's a nice quality box actually. It's good thick cardboard. There is the camera, we'll come back to that. That's a mount for it, I'm guessing, which is like a silver ball, which you screw into the wall. Nothing else in there aside from this little box of tricks. Inside we have a micro USB cable, one of the white flat varieties. I quite like those, to be honest, they're very easy to lay. We have a first time setup guide. This is the hub, which we'll come back to. A piece of paper. Limited hardware warranty. And it looks like we'll have to go in through the other end to get the other stuff. Okay, charger here is a nice travel adapter, small, good feeling, USB obviously. We have a Cat 6 cable, which is rather nice, or Cat 5e if you're in America. A bit of 3M sticky stuff, which is cut out about the right size for that, so you don't have to screw into your wall. We have a power cable. I'm presuming this is for this. I would be presuming correctly. And we have some screws for attaching the blob on the wall. Okay. So the camera itself. There's the front of it. It has a little bit of protective plastic on it, which we will peel away right now. does feel pretty heavy actually because of that battery that's in here, and it's pretty solid. Surprisingly solid actually. I suppose for 120 pounds you'd need it to be solid. And this is obviously a pivotable. Oh, well, we'll go around the camera. Right, so we have the lens on the front, and we have that night vision LED there. That must be an LED to notify you that things are going, and then a microphone here. This is glossy plastic with a almost aluminium feeling, but it is plastic around the outside of it. So it does look, it's solid enough that if it was to fall, it would probably survive. On the top here we have a button. That's obviously on off, and that's about it. Moobox on the side here. There is the micro USB cable port, and that looks like a speaker on the back there with a screw thread as well for you to mount it if you need to. And I'm busting to try. Is it magnetic? It is. Wow. Right. Okay. So that's actually a pretty strong magnet, and a really good way to make things adjustable. Rather than having other settings and things like that. I really like that. You can get that in all kinds of shapes and angles. It's good thinking. Really like that. And that's about it for the camera. There's not much more that we can talk about there. And the hub has a button on the top, and then there's a power cable connector on the back, the Ethernet port, and a USB port as well. There's some feet on the bottom. There's a QR code which I'm attempting to cover so that no one can hack into my camera in case it does that. And there's a reset button there. There's also a little screw hole so you can hang this from a wall, or 4 rubber feet for you to set it on the table. Looks a bit like an Apple TV, probably about the same size as a Roku 3. I don't have an Apple TV, so I can't say if it's the same size as that. And that's about it. Suppose what remains is for us to actually get this up and running. So we plug that in. This glows a little bit blue. Now it's ready to go. I'm guessing that there's battery in this. We won't even bother connecting it to that. Okay, so first time set up. We need to connect this to that, and then it's saying the Ethernet to the internet. Okay, after a bit of rearranging, we have managed to get an Ethernet cable connected to the internet and brought over here. So we're getting a flashing light to let us know that that's good. Next up, it says for us to connect the camera via USB. 100% wireless. We had a slight noise come out of it there. Don't know whether to get excited about that or not. Press the top for 5 seconds. And we get a blue flashy light. Sync. Oh, press for 2 seconds. Okay, so we had a green light there, and this has gone back to blue. I'm not entirely sure what's happening now, but we have to install the application. We'll just use the QR code from here. Oops, wrong QR code. Okay, open link. And that takes us through to the website where it's downloading the application. So we have to sideload it as opposed to getting it from the App Store. It's 13 megabytes and it's going ridiculously slowly. 12k a second. My internet is faster than that. Okay, so now we're installing the application and see what happens once we get there. Right, so we're going to have to set up a profile. Default region is China, so we change that to Europe. Right, so sign up has been successful. We need to pair the camera. Press the sync button on the hub and the camera for 2 seconds to complete the pairing. And we get a green light here. We get a green light here. So if we go to Add Hub, scan the barcode on the back of the hub. Hub added successfully. A few seconds ago. That's not my room. What we'll do is we'll set it up to record our pal from Ash versus the Evil Dead. Okay, so there we go. We've got a bit of a blurry picture coming through. That's a good start. We turn it this way. We get some nice pixelation there. Doesn't that look fantastic? So, perhaps something's happening, like it's doing... Oh, I can hear myself as well. Maybe it's doing firmware updates or something, or... There we go, we got a bit more clarity there. There is a considerable delay on it at the moment. There's my hand waving now, my pixelated hand. So we go to settings, can we do things to speed that up? We've got a camera name, we've got a battery that's sitting at 64%, obviously it's charging now. Connection quality is good. Motion detection is not turned on. And upgrade the current version. I remember receiving a PR email to say to upgrade it to the newest version as soon as possible before doing the review. However, this is an unboxing, so this is what you expect to get out of the box. But there is an update that I'm going to have to apply somehow. Okay, so giving things a little time to settle for firmwares to update and all that kind of thing, we're back to how things actually work. And if there's a delay or any of that kind of thing, we've got our hand in there. There's a fraction of a second of delay, but everything seems to be communicating an awful lot better, and how time works things out. So looking at the picture, we have some pretty darn good quality there, and this is only on mid. I haven't taken it up to high yet. We'll give that a go. And there we are up to high, and well, I wouldn't say there's too much of a difference. You can see the crack in the render there, and to be honest, the image quality is quite nice. So now we've got it up to version 1.0.2. That seems to have made all the difference. Our battery's sitting at 100%, it's been on charge for a couple of days, and the connection is showing as good. The camera name, well, we'll need to change that actually. And the device ID is quite simple. Over here we have settings. So we have settings for the hub as well, which you can see it's got 16 gigabytes on board inside, which is perfect for basic security around the house. You get your serial, your MAC address, and the connection, which is currently online, and then update is version 1.01, and we're up to date. We can retitle that and add more to it by way of the camera, which this camera in settings takes you back to the basic camera settings that we were looking at earlier. So initially we still have this image, which maybe we can change that somehow. It'd be great if we could. We have Wi-Fi, battery, motion activation is not on, and there's been 0 events in it. And how do we turn on events and things? That takes us through to the settings menu, as we've already identified. That takes a snapshot. That turns on and off audio, and then the microphone allows you to speak through. Hello there. it works. It's not terribly loud, but it works. And we've got a wire thing that's actually sticking to the magnet. So I'm going to go and mount this. I'm going to see where's the best place to put it to film something that we actually want to be filmed, and see how it works out. If it does everything by default, because there isn't too much in the way of settings. Oh, aha. We can change our settings by event, date, and then our cloud storage and our local storage. It would be nice to have some form of flexibility whereby we can monitor movement and then be able to change sensitivity and all that sort of thing. I think that's standard across most cameras, but if this, we'll see how well this does on its own. Alright, so if you have any questions or anything you want me to test in particular, let me know in the comments box down below. Hit that subscribe button and give us a wee thumbs up if you fancy. And other than that, take care.